So good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you all here in the Float group once again. I'm your host, Steve Jones. For those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Stephen Jones. I'm the executive producer of Float, and I am coming at you tonight from the Fortress of Solitude here in a remote suburb of Seattle, Washington. Not really a suburb technically, but it's in the Seattle area. So let's put it that way. Yeah, tonight we are here to chat with everybody. Hello, Matt Russell. Good to see you there, sir. We've got a few things going on. Hello, Debbie Levy. Nice to see you. Thank you, Teresa Harding. Yes, it is the Deadpool Funko t-shirt with maximum effort, which frankly is what I believe that we all should be putting in right now. So there you go. Hello, Jackie. Nice to see you. And Celeste, good to see you as well. Tonight I have quite a bit to go over. Hi, Julia. I've got quite a few things to go over tonight. Matt Russell, I'm in lockdown, so there's nothing else I can be doing. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Matt Russell. Appreciate that very much. Hello, Miss Stephanie. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Angela. Good to see all of you. This weekend has been very challenging. I have spent a lot of this weekend. A lot of yesterday was spent buried in the Float COVID policy, which I'm trying to get ready for Float Friday. And I have to say, it's not as bad as I thought. I was expecting like a 20-something, 30-something page document, and it looks like it's going to be about 9 pages. So it's not as bad as I thought, but it's not good. So hello, Tiasha. Nice to see you. The Float COVID protocols are coming together. To be honest with you, I think we've got most of everything on paper now. Now it's going to be a matter of reviewing it, stewing it over, making sure that I haven't forgotten anything. Hey, Sherry. Nice to see you. And today was not a great day. I had some issues with another colleague today that I'm not super happy about. I don't need to go into a lot of details about it, but it's just not something I'm super thrilled with. But it is what it is, and as a result, I've decided tonight to make an announcement that I wasn't planning on making until about 4 o'clock today. So, is Philomena wearing a beret? No, believe it or not, it is a sombrero. It is actually a sombrero. It's hard to see because of the angle. But if I lean her over, then it falls off. So it's actually a sombrero. So there you go. Andrus, I guess you guys must miss her, don't you? I am going off script a little bit tonight in that earlier today I mentioned that I was going to be, hello, Kareem. I mentioned earlier today that I was going to be announcing the actual official schedule for Float Friday. Yeah, that kind of went out the window today because I spent a lot of time today dealing with an issue, like I said, that I didn't want to be dealing with. So instead, I'm making an announcement later tonight in reference to, it's not directly related to what I've been talking about, but it's partially related to what I'm talking about. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about our next class of the Float Foundation. We're going to talk about the February class for the Float Foundation, which we're going to announce for the first time tonight. We're going to discuss the fate of 1 Million Bubbles. And as I just mentioned a little bit ago, we have a surprise announcement that I'm going to be making tonight. So let's get started, shall we? All right. So for those of you, today, just about an hour ago, the class officially closed for Dante and his class on Tuesday for the Float Foundation on grid wall designs and murals. I got some heat from a few people, not heat, but I got some complaints from some people. Why would you have a class that right now like that when nobody's doing jobs like that? Well, 2 things. Number one, first of all, the class submission, or the class, was actually submitted by someone here live on StepChat. Somebody actually did, we went out there and said, hey guys, we're looking for ideas for classes. And it was one of the classes that was proposed. So we're actually listening to you, and we're actually taking what you want into consideration. So there's that. And secondly, who says people aren't selling walls right now? Because I'll tell you right now, Alexa and I have now done 3, or will be doing 3 within the last 2 months. So Alexa and I sold an SDS mural to one of the Amazon locations. We sold an all-foil wall backdrop for a Zoom anniversary party. And then coming up in a couple weeks, we have another mural that we've sold to a business that is not Amazon. So yeah, it's certainly possible that people are going to be doing walls, maybe not as often as you would think, maybe not in your market, but absolutely doing them. And hello, Stephanie Marquardt, good to see you. Yeah, so there's that. So remember, something that I think everybody needs to keep in mind. Yes, we absolutely we want our classes to appeal to the widest audience of people, but at the same time, just because they don't appeal to you doesn't mean they're not any good. So that's just something to think about. So, again, it's one of those things where, not everybody's demographic is the same. Ask me how many pop drops I sold. Go ahead, ask me. 1 pop drop for New Year's Eve. Keep in mind, we did work for 3 casinos at New Year's Eve, but I sold 1 pop drop. Markets are different everywhere, so keep that in mind, and just remember. And again, we were selling stuff during COVID that I never thought in a million years we'd be selling sometimes. So it is what it is. So just right now you can't write anything off specifically. Okay, so now about Dante's class, there's some things you need to know. First of all, if you signed up for Dante's class, your instructional email goes out in the morning. No need to message me tonight. Oh my God, I never got anything. Goes out in the morning. Okay, so keep that in mind. It will go out tomorrow morning. So if I'd say because again, my morning is different than a lot of your mornings because I'm on the West Coast. Hello, Christy, good to see you. So if you have not received the email by, I would say, the time you eat lunch tomorrow, feel free to message me and say, hey, Steve, where's that email? Okay. Also remember, if you are a Gmail account holder, if you are one of the people that use Gmail, specifically Gmail, like balloongoddess@gmail.com or whatever, then I just made that up. For all I know, I just hit somebody's email address. I didn't mean to pick on you. But let's say that's you. If that's the case, right, you may not see the email right away. You might need to, Jackie, that's funny. You might need to look in your promotions folder, okay? I had a client the other day, an actual balloon client, was like, what do you mean my promotions folder? She had no idea what I was talking about. And then, of course, because she went in and she scrolled down, and she opened it up. She's like, oh my God, there's like 200 emails in here. I'm like, yep. It's not considered spam or junk, but it's not considered into your general email. So it's like that middle ground that they don't really tell you about. So Tommy De Lorenzo, nice to see you. How are you, sir? So there's that. So Dante's email, the instructional email for his class, will go out tomorrow morning, my time. Okay. Secondly, in an effort to better serve you, the students that are taking these classes, we have made a couple of changes to the process. The first change is that not the first change, but one of the biggest changes that you're going to, in fact, other than the fact that we closed it down today, the biggest change that you're going to see is that now your replay option is for a solid month, okay? So now instead of getting a 2-week replay to where you can watch the video for 2 weeks, you now get almost a full month. You get 4 weeks, basically, is what you get, okay, to watch the free replay. The bottom line is very simple. Can anybody legitimately tell me that in the course of 2 weeks, they couldn't find 1 hour to sit in front of the computer and watch this class? No. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, you know what? What if we hit them at, what if that 2 weeks falls into a busy time for them, right? Because we just talked about this. Everybody's market's different. You know, some of you are going to be doing crazy busy Valentine's business. And so the idea of watching Dante's class as you prep for Valentine's or whatever may not work for you or whatever. So the idea is that, okay, we're going to give it an entire 4 weeks now so that you can watch that class for up to almost a month. Now, now let's be very clear though. Once that 4 weeks is over, I mean, we already can't do it because of the way the system works, because the way that once it switches to a digital download, I can't offer the free stream anymore anyway. Now, will you still get the $5 deal? Absolutely. You'll still get the $5 deal. That's not being extended. You get a week. That's it. Okay. I'm looking, thank you, Christy. I'm looking at this going, look, if you can't watch the video in the course of 4 weeks and you can't buy the video for $5 more a week after that, if you can't get to this within 5 weeks, then I'm jealous as hell of you because you clearly have more of a life than I do. And why did you sign up for the class anyway? So that's kind of where I'm getting at here. So the other difference that you're going to see is that when you get your email tomorrow morning, okay, for the class, you're going to see on the email, normally there's like a thing that says like, here's the class and here are the different times in the United States when that class is offered. You're also going to see directly below that the calendar of events. So what's going to happen is you're going to see where it says January 12th, Dante's class or whatever. Then it's going to say January 15th through February 6th, I think it is, free replay option. And then it's going to say February 7th through February 13th, $5 digital download offer. Okay, it's just one more effort to try to make sure that I am covering my butt as much as possible. So when someone emails me back and says, you never said that, I can say, yes, I did. You're emailing me from the very email where it says it. So there's that. But yeah, at the same time, I do think I could argue with somebody that, yeah, you know what? If this happened to fall in a bad 2 weeks for you, again, I know a lot of parents are homeschooling right now still. I know a lot of people are dealing, I mean, the holidays, I can't tell you how many balloon people I've talked to that came down with COVID. I'm not going to tell you because it's confidentiality, but I'm just saying that some of them have been very public about it on Facebook. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody's got a reason, but I'm sorry, you're not, after a month, yeah, you had a chance to watch this. So there you go. So that is the new thing and exciting thing about Dante's class starting on Tuesday. So again, you'll get a full month for the free replay. You'll still get the 1 week of the $5 option. And the calendar of the actual timeline of this will be featured in the email that you'll get tomorrow. So you have a reminder of what's going on. Yeah, well, yes, Corinne, it is. It is unfortunate. It's clearly obvious, though, that a lot of people have really given up the concept of social distancing. A couple of the balloon people that I saw that had COVID, it was interesting because, you know, days before there were pictures of them with 45 family members at Thanksgiving. I wonder how you got it. I'm not diminishing the fact that they got it. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying, I think we know how it happened. So at the same time, I really do hope that everybody's, and fortunately, I think everybody that I've spoken to, everybody that I know of is doing much better now, or they're done with it, which is great, you know, and I'm very happy about that. So I'm not trying to be insensitive, so please don't misunderstand me. Speaking of which, I do want to make a special announcement really quickly. Earlier today on my timeline, I saw that Sarah Parent, who's a very active float person and part of our community that we love and adore, part of the family, lost her brother, I believe, within the last 24 hours. I don't I have no idea when it was to. I just know that she posted this morning, at least I saw it this morning, that she had lost her brother. So I want to extend my deepest condolences to Sarah and her family. If you're friends with her on Facebook, take a minute to at least acknowledge Dina. Yeah, please take a moment to recognize that and check in with her and make sure she's all right. So, I appreciate it. Yes, Dina, you're probably right. I probably will. But you know what? I'm at a point where I'm like, go to the tape. Go to the tape. And I'm surprised nobody asked me, hey, Teresa, we were 37 for like a split second there. I was, and I'm surprised nobody, I guess you guys trust me enough now. Nobody asks me anymore if I'm recording. So yes, I've been recording the whole time. So I'm very happy. So let's talk about February. Very excited about February, actually. I think it's going to be a really good class because I'm very, very familiar with the individual that's teaching the class. This person and I have been friends for well over a decade. I know her as a true professional. I know her as a wonderful person, an incredibly gifted and talented designer, and very, very much, Float would never be the same if she wasn't part of it. Folks, our next instructor for the Float Foundation is the one and only Melissa Benson. She will be teaching on February 23rd, Tuesday, February 23rd, after Valentine's Day. And her class will be on Valentine's design. No, I'm kidding. No, not at all. Get ready for next year. No, her class will be on graduation designs, actually. The reality is that graduation is always one of the biggest times of year for a lot of balloon people. And as a result, we are going to push that really hard. So Melissa's class next month on February 23rd is going to be focused on graduation style decor. So make sure you tune in for that. The official announcement will go out tomorrow in the form of a post, obviously. I haven't made the meme yet. Actually, it may go out Tuesday. I don't know yet. It's supposed to go out Monday, but I promised Melissa she could look at it first before I posted it. So if I don't, and she's not always, I don't always reach her the same day. So, it might be Tuesday. So there's my disclaimer. Yeah, you'll be able to start signing up for that as soon as you see the meme go out. You'll be able to start signing up for Melissa's class. So, and yes, same policies apply. If you are pre-registered for Float 2022, you're looking at $20. If you're not pre-registered for Float 2022, it's going to be $30. Keep in mind, right, that Float registration will be reopened later this month. So there's no advantage to you signing up early and then messaging me later and saying, I just registered for Float, can I get my $10 back? If you're thinking about registering for Float, why don't you wait and go from there. Christy, I thought you were taking a break for a week. I am taking a break for a week. And I picked the worst possible week to do it, but I'm doing it anyway. Float Friday is January 22nd. Registration is open until the 31st. Well, I shouldn't say that. Registration is technically open, but the discount is open till the 31st for those returning from Float. But I'm going on vacation the 24th through the 30th. So I'm very happy. I've gotten a couple people have offered to help out while I'm gone and cover some stuff for me. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So I am going on vacation. To a destination yet to be determined, yet to be discussed, yet to be announced. I don't know that I'm going to announce it. To be honest with you, I'm kind of excited about the idea. If I can't hang out with people really anyway, I don't know that I want to go tell people where I am. If that makes sense. So Stephanie Marquardt, you are correct. There is never a good time for vacation. You just have to do it. And the reason why Alexa and I picked this time, because she's going, I'm going, we're going. The reason we did this is because, you know, I was very optimistic about the vaccines and everything else, and I was very happy. And I was like, oh yeah, the vaccines are getting out, and people are going to start getting back to life, and everything's going to be normal, and we'll be okay. But then what I started hearing, of course, and mind you, I understand this is the media, and I don't want to get into politics, but what I'm saying is that the media, as we've talked about before, loves to spin the worst possible angle on a story to get you to watch or listen, because they sell advertising. And, you know, when it all started coming out, they started talking about, well, you know, everything should be fine by the spring. And then it turned into, well, everything should be fine by the early fall. And then it turned into, well, it may not be until late into 2022. And I'm like, but regardless, Alexa and I had a very serious conversation. We looked at each other and said, look, here's the problem. Excuse me. I said, we know historically January, even on a good year, January is a slow month. The problem is if let's say the world starts reopening in a few months, which is certainly possible. If that starts happening, all of our big corporate accounts that we haven't done for a year should be coming back into things. And what we're concerned about is then we're going to be so flippin' busy, we'll never have time to go. And so the idea was, do we keep putting this off? Do we keep putting this off? Or do we go ahead and do it? And so we went ahead and did it. And so we pulled the trigger and said, screw it. And I will say that ever since I decided to shut down for a week and close these doors and go on a vacation, I've felt a weight lifted off my shoulder. I didn't feel like we were walking through a dark tunnel and trying to find the light. I felt like, okay, here's something for me to look forward to. And you know, I'm like a little kid. It's like, oh, go on vacation 2 weeks. I mean, it's that kind of thing. So so I had to do it. I had to do it. And now, I mean, I feel like, you know, and as somebody, I forget who it was, pointed out to me, somebody asked me seriously, they said, Stephen, when is the last time that you went on a vacation that didn't involve another balloon event, like going to another vacation or going to another convention or something like that, right? Or B, something with family. Like you were going specifically for a family event. I can't remember that date. I know I went on vacation in 2016 or 17 with my now ex-wife and our family, my family. Flavia, I think you're right. I think you were the one that asked me that question, and it was a great question to ask because it really made me think. It was for my parents' wedding anniversary, their 50th. So it was, but it wasn't like we're sitting around the table the whole time talking to family. It was at Hilton Head, right? So, you know, every day was spent on the beach. Well, I'm sorry, they spent every day on the beach. I spent 4 to 5 hours each day on the computer working on email shit. So as you can imagine, it is my intention to I might have to address 1 or 2 emails in the day. Oh, Flavia, that's a good question. Was it? Yes. Yeah, I guess you would technically say my honeymoon then. Yeah. When Doris and I got married, which was, oh God, I could find out my timeline. I guess it was 2012 when we got married, I think it was. So yeah, that would be the last. But Flavia, technically speaking, that wouldn't count either because I was in charge of the wedding. It was a destination wedding at Eccles State Park in Oregon, overlooking Haystack Rock, which if you've ever seen the Goonies, in the opening scene of the Goonies, there's a dune buggy race and there's a massive rock right there, it's there. That's where we got married. We got married at a point that overlooks that. So we had about 5 days after of vacation, which was, I mean, there was no question about it. But I was so exhausted from the first one. The first 5 days I was there, or 4 days I was there, I was completely wiped out. So I was like, oh. So yeah, the rest of the time I enjoyed the rest of the time, but it was still work related, absolutely. So, so there you go. Some people have said, I don't know how to stop working. And that's probably a very true statement. So I'm going to do everything I possibly can on this trip to do just that. So, so there you go. All right. So, yeah, like I said, enrollment for Melissa's class will begin as soon as the meme goes up. Yes, there'll be a discount code. You got to reach out to me and ask what it is. If you are in the Float forum, I will post the discount code there so that you can, then you don't have to message me, because if you're already paid in full for the convention, you're already pre-registered, which means you would already have access. So there you go. So there's that. No, I cannot, Flavia, I cannot leave the laptop. That cannot happen. That cannot happen because of the Float registration process that's going on. But we have a couple, I do have a couple of systems in place that I'm hoping will work. I haven't spoken to her yet, but there's always one person. The month before Float, there's one of my crew members steps up and really starts helping me. And like what she'll do is she'll, like, people, if they have questions, the email will get kind of forwarded to her, right? And she'll field all the PITA questions. And the ones that she knows the answers to, she'll take care of them. And then the ones that she doesn't know the answers to, she'll combine them into a list. And so I'll get, instead of getting 300 emails in the course of a day, I'll get one. And that one email will be like, I don't know the answers to these questions. Boom, 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 boom. And so I'll call her or I'll email her and say, here are the answers that you need. Thank you very much. Word. That's it. So my work level is much, much lower in that capacity. So yeah, that's a thing. And then on top of that, Lisa McIntyre has volunteered to help with the Float forum. For those of you that are in the forum, of course, you know that every Monday through Friday, we have theme days, and I post, I kind of start each theme day off. Yeah, I don't have to do that for a week. Somebody else is going to take over. So Lisa's offered to take over and do it. So there you go. Very excited. So yeah, this is going to be the most unplugged I've ever been. We're going to more than likely set up the auto response on the business email that we are currently closed from this time to this time due to vacation. And, if your event is between this time and this time, we won't be able to help you. If it's after this date, we'll get back to you upon our return to the office on this day. If it's Float related, it'll go the other direction. The phone, we're talking about, putting the phone on just, answering machine, voicemail, and let that do it. And then, once a day before I go to bed, listen to the voicemail, see what there is. That's it. So it's very minor. I'm very happy about that. By the way, for those of you wondering, I don't want to do it yet because I'm afraid if I do it, but he's so cute right now. He's over there sleeping. Roscoe's in the corner. I know Teresa's probably having fits by now, withdrawal pains from a lack of Roscoe, but he's over there and I'll get him. What's been happening is when the heater comes on, he has a box under the desk. He actually crawls out of the box, goes over to the carpet that is in the direct line of fire of this heater up here. And so he is toasty warm that whole time. Okay, so, and the only thing I left out about Melissa's class is that the class will close on February 21st. Okay, same deal as we did today. It'll close at 5 o'clock on February 21st. So there you go. Thank you, Teresa. There you are. Okay, The next thing I want to talk about is the fate of 1 million bubbles. Um, wait, Roscoe was an inspiration? You adopted a kitten? Really, Teresa? Or really, Tammy? Wow. What do you know about that? Um, so there you go. Um, there you go. I froze up for a second there. There we go. I'm back. Okay. I saw it. I literally looked as I froze. So all I basically said was, there you go. So it's doing it again. And it just did it again. So I'm not sure what's glitching, why it's glitching, whatever's glitching, but it's glitching. So, and now I'm seeing it on my phone. So there you go. It's delayed. Anyway, so let's talk about the fate of 1 million bubbles. Not that it's a fate. Last week in the float group, we threw it out there to pick a date, a permanent date for the 1 million bubbles project. Again, the reason for this is Paul Thiel and his guinea pig. Um, the reason for this is because predominantly one of the most active people that have been involved in 1 million bubbles more than anybody else has been our own Teresa Harding from TMI. Teresa basically has been doing frequent projects for 1 million bubbles. And she is such a passionate believer in the project that she wants to see well, okay, and if you watch TMI, right, you know that every week Teresa does the forecast for the week, and the forecast is holidays, right? It's like was it today like National Indoor Plant Day or something? I mean, and they and look, let's face it, they get some whacked out freaking daily holidays. One of them, oh my god, I was reading some of them today, and I'm just like, where do these people come up with these things? But and I'm sure people might say that about what the hell is 1 million bubbles, but Teresa's been a real big proponent about making 1 million bubbles an annual project, and the truth is, I am in agreement with her. I think that it's something that was really, really it was a big deal for a lot of people, and while I don't know that it'll ever have the same impact and the same effort as it did before, I think it's still something to remind everybody of where we've come from and where we've gone through and what we've been dealing with, everything else. Um, so we're looking at creating an actual date. And of course, what we did in the poll is we put up a poll that said, in the poll, we put up a poll. Yeah, great. We talked about when should we do it? The first one was March 26th. The second one, the biggest one by far, was Easter weekend. But we threw it out there. Yeah, Peculiar People Day. We threw it out there and said, how about, one of these two dates, or should we pick another day? And March 26th won overwhelmingly. But the truth is, I think most people voted for March 26th because it wasn't Easter weekend. And I think a lot of people were concerned about doing the project over Easter weekend. So we were chatting about this, and one of the people in the poll brought up a really excellent point, and they said, you know what, rather than do it, I think a couple people actually touched on this, rather than do it Easter weekend, why don't you do it later in April? Because first of all, Easter weekend is sometimes in March, sometimes in April. But if we do it later in April, the weather's nicer for most people. It's kind of at that in-between point. I know some of you are in prom season then, but a lot of people are gearing up for prom season. And so it's kind of after Easter, before proms, that kind of thing. Again, there is no perfect time to do this for anybody because everybody's market's different and everybody has different weather and, that kind of stuff. So what we're looking at right now is the last weekend of April. So for now, that's what we're planning. And Teresa has taken it upon herself to actually apply for this to be a recognized event on these calendars and in these different things. So I'm very excited about that. So Teresa, again, I can't thank you enough. In fact, I'm going to be shameless here for a second. Teresa Harding has become such an incredible member of this float family, and she's never even been. Teresa became part of the family during the COVID crisis. And when you look at the amount of excitement, energy, ideas, passion that she has added to this community, it's amazing. So thank you, Teresa. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for everything you continue to do. Um, yeah, yeah, Christy, she's the bomb. So there you go. Nice job. So thank you, Teresa. I don't want to diminish my other fellow co-host, by the way. Um, I'm just saying that Corrine, I miss my free Qualitex calendar. Um, yeah, I would. Yeah, that's a thing, huh? That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic of conversation. So yeah, it looks like, so like I said, it looks like 1 million bubbles is probably going to be scheduled the last weekend of April. So there's that. So take it from there. Okay, so today I was going to announce the schedule for Float Friday, but some other issues came up today that were a little bit distracting. And I had one set of issues in the morning, I had a different set of issues in the afternoon, and it was just like, you know what? No. But I am going to do something instead. I'm going to make a different announcement tonight that I wasn't going to do prior to tonight. We were going to actually wait and announce this at Float Friday, but things that have occurred over the last couple of days, we've decided that we're going to go ahead and move forward with it and talk about it. This is going to ruffle some feathers, but it's okay because I kind of feel like this is more important. So, many of you know for years, Qualitex has produced the CBA program. And let me be very clear, the CBA program is I'm just smirking because of the clear thing. That's all. Don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. The CBA program is absolutely, I think it's been an incredible tool for the industry. It has been the foundation for a basic education for balloon professionals in this industry. With that being said, for years, we have been discussing presenting a different kind of certification for the industry. And something that would be brand neutral, something that's not intended to be related or connected to any one manufacturer, something that is intended to be better reflective of the age in which we live, and something multi-tiered, and something with larger purpose. Not to suggest that the CBA program doesn't contain some of these things. It's, well, they don't contain all of them, but my point is that there has to be something beyond getting letters behind your name. So I am very proud to announce that at Float 2022, we will be the very first location for testing for both the Certified Balloon Professional and the Master Balloon Professional program. I'm very honored and thrilled. As of right now, we have a panel of about 9 industry professionals who have been in the business anywhere from, I think the newest person involved in the panel is probably, I think the newest person in the panel is probably 6 years, 7 years in, and one of them's 30. So, you know, I think the majority of them are well over 10 years, if not 20. And what we are currently working on is a program devised to create like I said, a neutral certification for balloon professionals. I don't want to get into a lot of details tonight because there's still things obviously to be ironed out that we're still working on. And there are, and like I said, this is gonna upset some people. You know, it's not my intention to, by no means, but at the same time, it is it's bigger than float. This is not, and I guess this is something that really needs to be said right here in front of everybody. This certification program, while it is connected to float in that float is launching, like the float is going to be like the first testing site for it, right? It's not required. If we do that, then it becomes brand specific, right? It's brand specific in a different direction. Just because it's not connected to a manufacturer doesn't mean it wouldn't be brand specific. So this is not intended to be a, well, you better come to Float or else you can't do this anywhere else. No, that's not what it is. Float is going to be the launch site for this program. Because some of you are going to be asking questions, what I am going to tell you is that another one of our Float talent, the one and only Tony Cooper, will be covering the certification plan rather extensively during his segment on Float Friday coming up on January 22nd. And I will make a more formal statement later this week. Tonight is a very unofficial statement. But like I said, based on some things that have occurred in the last couple of days, it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to say it. So I did drop an email to Qualitex earlier today. I don't know that they're going to get it before tomorrow morning, but I felt like I should at least say something to them before I do this, so they're not completely out of left field. So there's that. Now, the one thing I do want to stress also about this program is that it is not intended to replace the CBA program. It's not intended to poo-poo the CBA program. That's not what it is. In fact, what the plan is that if you are a CBA now and you're eligible for the certified program, because there is a caveat. If you're certified and if you're eligible for the program for either one and you are a CBA, the fact that you are a CBA will exempt you from a certain proportion of the new certification program. There's still additional stuff you'll have to do, but it will exempt you from a certain portion of. So think of it as like your college credits are transferring from one to the other, kind of a thing. So I feel it's really inappropriate to diminish the accomplishments of what people have already done. I will say that is the only certification program that's going to be accepted at this time. I know that several instructors have created their own certification stuff. The reason why we are accepting the Qualitex certification program is because it's established. It's been around for decades. It's a thing. So I'm not trying to suggest that other certifications are not worthy, but they don't have the test of time behind them. And as a result, the committee is pretty much unanimous, in fact, I think, that the CBA is the only certification program that we're going to accept into this capacity. There are certain elements to it that are absolutely required. You have, there's a certain length of time you have to be in business to qualify for a certified. There's a certain length of time you've got to be in business to qualify as a master's or as a master. You got to be legal. You've got to be running a legal, legitimate business. You've got to show your business licensing. You've got to show your certificate of insurance. You've got to have a dedicated website. You know, you can't be running your business off your Instagram account. You know, that's way too easy. That kind of, there's no, Stephanie Marquard's term, there's no skin in the game. So, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that, and like I said, Tony's going to cover a lot of this stuff later on Float Friday. So I just want everybody to know that that's what we're looking at. So under no, like I said, this is going to be, hold on. Okay, Stephanie McMillan, I'm embarrassed to say that I cannot remember what the word matriculate means. I think I do, but I'm not entirely certain. This is what happens when a doctor gets on the call. She uses big words. Um, um, the it is something. This certification program is something, like I said, that we have been talking about for years. In fact, um, we actually talked about doing this um, for the last float in 2019. We had a conversation about it, and we decided that we weren't necessarily based on the circumstances of the last one that had to go back to back. We were afraid that we wouldn't have enough time to really do it right, and at the same time, we kind of felt like it wasn't as vital as I think it is right now. One of the reasons why we are creating this program, um, COVID-19 and the related logistical and business environments that we have found ourselves in, have demonstrated very clearly to me and to a lot of other people that, to no one's fault, thank you, Julia, that's what I thought it meant. To no one's fault, we were on our own. Again, when the COVID lockdowns hit, how many people in this room felt like at that moment somebody was watching their back? Probably very few of you. And all of a sudden, we as balloon people felt very alone, very isolated, and very much left to fend for ourselves. This is why we are creating this program. The idea is so that we can build a stronger community of qualified, legitimate professionals who can work together and help one another, and at the same time grow our businesses through our own strength in numbers. That's the plan. There will be more discussed about this in the near future. But for now, just know that it's coming. What I will tell you, because believe it or not, I already know people that are starting to buy airline tickets. As of right now, with the new location at Float, the testing for this program is going to take place on Friday, January 21st of 2022. If you'll notice in the group, on the meme at the top, on the banner at the top, sorry, not the meme, but the banner, you'll notice that it says with pre-convention activities starting on January 21st. That's why. The testing for the new certification programs that we'll be offering at Float will be there. And that's why they're being offered. The reality is this new venue is so big and it's great, but now we've taken on so many things and made so many promises that now we're running out of room. And so it's like, oh crap, great. So we have to figure out what we're going to do. So there's that. It's out. I've said it. There you go. Where it goes from here is yet to be determined. So like I said, we will, so make sure that when Tony Cooper joins us on Float Friday, he will be going into a lot more detail on this stuff. One of the things that I do really quickly though, because like I said, I apologize for not getting to the Float schedule, for the Float Friday schedule. But the one thing that I'm going to tell you is that basically from about 9 a.m. in the morning, my time, which would be, I think noon on the East Coast, until 11 p.m. on Float Friday, there will be hourly announcements made about the convention. I know that the ladies of Working Wonders are going to be introducing our teacher lineup of what we have so far. I can tell you right now, we will not have the entire lineup yet. I think that personally, it's a bad idea to have all of the teachers lined up this early because things happen. New crazes come out, new things, new trends, whatever. I think it's important to, I think that many of the sponsors will be putting, they're going to have in the back, they're going to know in the back of their mind who they're bringing. But still, it could be one of those situations where, they think they're going to bring somebody, and then next thing you know, somebody invents the newest, hottest thing that everybody's going to have, and now that person's coming to teach at Float. Who knows? So, so we're going to be announcing some of the instructors for Float 2022, and that, like I said, will be handled by the lovely ladies of Working Wonders. Tony is going to go into more detail, as I've said, about the certification program. Teresa, I'm not going to share with you what Teresa's talking about yet, but Teresa's going to have a surprise for you that's never been featured before at Float. And I, of course, will be covering the Float COVID protocols, the full COVID protocols. Like I said, I've been working on them for the last 2 days. And I'm very relieved that there's only 9 pages. My COVID protocol is longer than the one we got from Nintendo. But keep in mind that when we did a job for Nintendo, we weren't allowed to go inside the building. So that eliminated 90% of what they needed to have us say. And basically it was just legalese for, wash your hands, if you have to go to the bathroom, this is what you do, that kind of thing. That's all it is. So, it's 9 pages, and it's 9 fairly full pages. But I think I've covered just about everything. What's going to happen now is that now I need to let it sit, let it stew, right? And let it actually sink in, and then figure out, okay, have I forgotten something? Oh crap, I forgot this. Happened the other day. I was one of the sections I was working on. I was like, oh crap, I forgot the comment about the vaccine, which, I made a meme out of the other day. Yes, Jackie, you're absolutely right. Everyone else gets the fun announcements. But that's okay, because this is the one announcement that I've already said it, that everybody is going to be pissed about. I shouldn't say that. It's not that they're going to be pissed about it. They're just not going to be happy about it. Okay, I got to do this now. Because first of all, Debbie Levy is going to freak out if she doesn't see that Philomena actually has a sombrero on. But more importantly, somebody got up. What's up, playa? Oh, he actually, what was that? What's the matter, dude? What's happening? He's probably just figured out that Alexa's not here. I swear to God, he will sit there and cry for 10 minutes when Alexa leaves every day. There is no question in my mind who that cat belongs to. On paperwork, it's me. In reality, it's Alexa. So, there you go. Yeah, I missed all the announcements. You need another float registration when you get a minute. Good luck with that. No, I'm kidding. We are, okay, so to answer Tammy's question, Tamara's question. Everybody knows her as Tamara, and I've always called her Tammy because, damn it, I'm different. No, the float registrations are closed for the time being. They will reopen on Float Friday, January 22nd. So there's that. Yes, Stephanie, you are absolutely right. He is looking for his mother. And yes, Barbara, that's because he literally just woke up. So yeah, he does look sleepy. I don't know if you guys could hear him crying or not, but yeah, there you go. Thank you, Susie. I did talk about this earlier today. It is my Deadpool / Funko t-shirt. The actual, if you're familiar at all with Funko, the collectible toys, their home office is 45 minutes from our shop. Like where it all began is 45 minutes. And they have this amazing store they have this amazing store, and it's, you know, all the Funko figures and everything. And so that's where I got the shirt from. So I love it. It's a great place. I love it. You know, I can't. I don't even collect them, and I spend $100, $120 when I go in there because I don't even. It just oh, I like that one. And then there you go. And I'm a sucker for it every time. Okay. I think I covered everything I got to talk about, and the timing's about right. So let's recap. So once again, if you have not signed up yet for Dante's class on Tuesday, you're too late. I'm sorry. That is done. The class officially closed at 5 o'clock today. You will receive your instructional email tomorrow morning. If you have not seen, I have been. Christy? Okay, Christy, I'm shocked. Of all the people on this call, Christy, you've never seen Deadpool? I guess, I mean, I guess they're not really related because you're like a big Halloween, like you're a big horror fan and all that stuff. So I guess technically they're not really related, but I'm still, that really, your sense of humor and everything, that really shocks me that you've never seen Deadpool. I am shocked. All right, that's it. That's it. You have an assignment. You have an assignment. Christy Farrell, just you. Before the next step chat, you must watch the first Deadpool. I'm going to quiz you during the call. All right. Yeah, Dina, right. She's got homework now. All right. So the instructional email for Dante's class will go out tomorrow morning. If you haven't gotten it by about noon your time, and if you're in Gmail, check your promotions folder. If you are not in Gmail, message me directly and say, hey, Steve, I didn't get it, and then we'll see what we can find out. Did you hear what he just called you? What did I call him? What did I call her? I don't know what did I call her? I don't remember. Okay. Also, don't forget that the replay, starting with Dante's class, will now be extended 4 full weeks as opposed to 2. And you'll still get the 1 week after the class is over to purchase it for the digital download for $5. You'll still get that. But in an effort to be more accommodating and be more helpful to people, you're going to get a longer replay period now. It does mean you got to wait longer before people can buy the video, though. So there's that. So it's going to be a good reason why you need to sign up for classes as opposed to waiting for the video to come out. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Okay. The other thing we announced was Melissa Vinson's class for February with the Float Foundation. That's taking place on February 23rd, and it will be on graduation decor. Enrollment for that will begin later this week, probably either tomorrow or Tuesday. So make sure you look at the Float website for that. I also forgot to mention earlier, thank you to everybody that's been ordering your Float t-shirts. I have been assured that they are on the way here. They were shipped apparently Saturday morning. They are on the way to Seattle now. I am actually going to start printing shipping labels tomorrow. So that way when the shirts get here, we can turn right around and get them right back out in the mail. So that way, hopefully, as many people as possible will have them in time for Float Friday. And Jackie, I apologize to you. I got your email back with your address in it. I just haven't gotten around to checking the cost on it, but I'll take care of that. Remember, if you live within the continental United States or Alaska and Hawaii, the price of $25 includes shipping. If you live outside the US, then international rates apply. Now, the good thing is Canada historically isn't that much more, at least in the past. So if it is, I mean, I'm hoping it's not, I'm hoping it's going to be right around the same. And if it's close enough, I'm not going to, it's just, here, fine, we're good. I had one person from Australia buy it. And I'm like, ooh, that's going to suck for you. You probably just paid more for shipping than you did for the t-shirt. But, all right, so there's that. So yeah, Melissa's class will be open starting this week, and it will end on February 21st. Once again, it's going to end the same way that Dante's did. It's going to end at 5 o'clock on Sunday the 21st. As of right now, it looks like the next 1 Million Bubbles project will be scheduled for the end of April, the last weekend of April. So pencil that in on your calendars. We're going to start doing a lot more footwork on that very soon. So hoping that you'll take part in that with us. And and spread a little joy and love in your neighborhood and communities like we did before. And finally, the big monster announcement that came out tonight, I'll call it that, Float will be the first location ever to host the Certified Balloon Professional and the Master Balloon Professional certification exams. We will have more information on that for you on Float Friday. Make sure you tune in for Anthony Cooper's presentation that day. He's going to have I shouldn't say that. He's going to have as many details as possible for you. Keep in mind, this is a very fluid process right now. We are still very much in the process of making it, but the most important thing to remember is that the program is not brand specific. So it is not intended to promote a manufacturer. It is not intended to even promote a convention. And I just froze up again. It is not intended to promote any one manufacturer. It is not even intended to promote any one convention. Float is simply going to be the launch pad for this project. So with all of that being said, I do want to remind each and every one of you that there are 3 other programs on this network every week that are fantastic and that you should tune into them. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, the one and only Teresa Harding will be putting on Float's own variety show, TMI with Teresa Harding. TMI, of course, stands for T-Money Insights. She's all about those abbreviations between drum and between MVP and all kinds of other stuff. It's like, there you go. I'm really excited to see who her 3 Minutes with T is this week. I love the interview segments. They're fantastic. They're just so charming. But I will say, they've been a little sexist. I have yet to see a man interviewed for 3 Minutes with T. And I don't believe that Seth is that jealous of a gentleman that would prohibit you from doing so. Just kidding. You know, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so make sure you tune in tomorrow night. And the one thing that I've said before over and over and over again is that every time I watch TMI, I feel lighter when it's over. Because it's just such a nice, fun thing. So yeah, there's that. On Tuesday night, Stacey Moore, I'll get to this in just a second. On Tuesday night, Organized Chaos begins with Anthony Cooper and Tuesdays with Tony. Remember, every single one of you, all of you, you and you and you and you, are invited to be live on the call with Tony. Tony will post the link to the call in the Float group, and you can get out there. You don't have to. Again, you've never even come to Float. Doesn't matter. Anybody can get on the call on Tuesdays with Tony. So get on board, jump in. Stephanie, if that is the last Saturday and Sunday of April, then yeah, that would be it. That would be it. So really, everybody get on there and get in there and just flat out get on the call. It's so much fun. It really is a nice time. It really is. It's literally a virtual happy hour. Some people tend to be a little happier than others, but I'm not going to name any names because you'll have to find out for yourself. Then on Wednesday night, the lovely ladies of Working Wonders will be joining us once again. This week, I believe they're expanding into more marketing stuff. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And it's also very interesting because the ladies of Working Wonders often, their businesses for the most part are different than mine. So it's very interesting to see how other people are doing things and how they're going about things and their positions and opinions and what have you. There have been times when I have flagrantly disagreed with them watching the show. But again, I have to remind myself, my business is different than their business. And it's great to see their perspectives and everything else. And plus on top of that, they're really wonderful people. They're hardworking people. They're all family people. And basically talking about, life and work and children and spouses and the balancing act of all of it. And we just love it. So make sure you check that out Wednesday night. All of those shows. Thank you, Stephanie, for confirming marketing. All of those shows are starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Float Network right here in the Float group. And remember, there is also a YouTube channel dedicated to the last probably 5 or 6 weeks worth of episodes of all of these shows. So if you've missed any part of this conversation, you'll be able to watch it on replay. If you missed any of the other shows, you can go back and watch them. Like I said, I believe we have about 6 episodes of each right now or so. Teresa might have an extra one in there because of her Christmas special. But yeah, there's that. So other than that, I'm going to stall for 2 more minutes to see if there are any more questions. Stacy Moore asked a question. What the hell is that hanging behind me? Anybody that's been living on Zoom lately knows exactly what that is hanging behind me. That is a green screen. So I have to keep it up because if not, I trip over it constantly walking through the space. Behind that are bags of pre-inflated square foil balloons that we inherited at an auction. And then that's a moose. It is my hope that within the next 2 weeks, he's going to be on that wall over there. It's not a real moose. It's a plush moose. It's the coolest plush moose I've ever seen in my life. I had to buy it. It didn't matter that it cost me almost $1,000 freaking dollars between buying it and shipping it. It doesn't matter. And it's going to cost me more than that by the time I get it mounted to the wall because whoever built this building did not follow code. So yeah, there's that. What time is Float Friday? Ronnie Crouch, Float Friday is all day, starting at 9 a.m. my time and going till 8 p.m. my time, which would be starting at noon on the East Coast and going till 11 o'clock on the East Coast. So trust me. What I'm going to do is I am going to make the formal, I promise you, like I said, I got distracted today. I promise you that next Sunday, the official schedule for Float Friday will be announced. And that way you'll be able to know exactly when the special announcements are being made that you want to know about. So there you go. Because like I said, there's going to be, oh, is that you? Mira, you bought that? Yay. Yeah, okay, we just sold a shirt while we're sitting here on the call. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, that is an expensive moose. Whew. But it's so cool. I love it. I love it. There was a quick story. There was a bar. For those of us living under a rock and just tuning in, what is the date of Float Friday? January 22nd. I'm only saying that because you must have come in late because I've said it like 8 times on this call, but that's okay. We love you anyway. And I can't say it enough. January 22nd. There you go. My ex-wife used to host karaoke at a bar, and the bar was so horribly mismanaged, it went out of business. And this was well before COVID. I mean, years before COVID. And when I found out they were going under and I found out they were closed, they had this huge moose head in the bar. And I've always wanted a moose head. But there was always something about owning a moose head that felt kind of wrong, you know, because it was an animal at one point. And I don't know that I'm not one of these people that doesn't believe in killing stuff because, look, I get it. I chucked a mouse today out of the mouse trap in the back, right? I mean, it's just good. But I lived in Anchorage for 3 years. I love moose. They're so cool. And so the idea of actually having a real moose head on my wall was kind of morbid, but at the same time, this moose was kind of the mascot of this park. Well, when I went to go, Jackie, I'll get to this in just a second, and Stephanie Marquardt, February 23rd. When I get to, when I found out that the bar was out of business, I actually jammed over to the bar, despite the fact that I absolutely hated the owner. I jammed over to the bar to try to buy the moose head. It was gone. And I don't mean cleared out and empty. I mean the building demolished. They tore the whole place down within days of the bar shutting down. It was insane. Christy, that's right. Exactly. Christy just hit it exactly on the head. It's not about sport. There are people that legitimately hunt and eat what they hunt, right? And people that eat what they fish. I mean, with fish, you can always catch them and put them back. And from what I understand about a fish's memory span, they don't even remember. Why does my lip hurt? They don't even remember why. They just know it does. But yeah, you're right. And I know people that hunt specifically because I feed my family with this food. So there you go. But I have a hard time with killing for sport. I personally do. And so yeah, it was April Gallegos. Oh my God, have you seen her? She's such a badass. Um, April Gallegos, quick story, was at the last float. You might remember her from Final Night. She was the little tiny petite brunette in the bright orange dress and the cowboy boots. So if you look for pictures of her, tiny little waif of a girl, wonderful, and a very sweet, loving person, just the nicest person in the world. She is a registered licensed bow hunter, and she's got pictures of and I can't even remember, javelina, I think is what it's called. She nailed a javelina, bow and arrow, like took the damn thing down and is sitting there holding this massive thing up. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, that's amazing. But she absolutely does it. Yes, 1223. She absolutely will have that meat processed, packaged, taken home, and feed her family with it. So yeah, it's a thing. And I'm never going to begrudge anybody for doing that. So that's just what, it's what you do. Plus, after living in Alaska for 3 years, my God, I mean, it's so many people do that. I mean, that's, there it's a way of life, it's subsistence. And here in the Pacific Northwest, it is also for a lot of people. A lot of people go hunting here, and that's why it's kind of interesting with the whole, you have the gun lobby on one hand, for and against, and here they have to find middle ground because there are so many hunting culture here is so important to the area. So, all right. So with all the Jackie asked a question: will Float Friday announcements be available online? If not, watched live right away. Yes, but not right away. Does that make sense? I will be doing the best that I can that day because even though I'm doing Step Chat that afternoon at 3 o'clock, I will also be making at least one or two other announcements throughout the day, surprise announcements for everybody. And of course that'll be in the thing. So, but my basic idea here is that what's going to happen is like let's say like Tony makes his announcement. Okay. Tony does his thing, and I'll be sitting there waiting. And the moment he goes off the air, click, boom, done, there it is. That's what my hope is. That's what I'm hoping I can do on Float Friday. If not, they'll be posted on Saturday. They're definitely going to get posted before I ever go on vacation on Sunday. So there you go. But yeah, I will. I'll do the best that I can to keep up with that stuff. But and one of the things that, well, again, when I share with you the schedule next week, I'll reveal another surprise for all of you that I'm really excited about. Not Teresa's surprise, but a different surprise next week. So, but my God, I've been going on and on and on and on and on. So on that note, I'll give it another minute because we've actually had some good questions. So I'll wait to see if there are any more, and if not, then I'll bid you all adieu for the evening. Unfortunately, I still have work to do tonight. I promised Alexa that I would get to Christy, so did I. I didn't know what it was either. I literally asked her. And her answer was, it looks like a pig had sex with a giant rat. And then I saw the picture. It looks like a pig had sex with a giant rat. It's revolting. And then I asked her, I said, well, at least it must be tasty, right? And she goes, I'm like, why? But I guess technically if you season it enough, anything will taste good. So, because Lord knows in China, I'm still convinced at some point we ate dog. Gotta leave it at that. So yeah. But I promised Alexa that I would get our marketing stuff laid out for the week tonight, and for balloon designers. And on top of that, I am very behind with regard to the Float Pops cards. So I've got to get Jeremy some more stuff for that. Because yeah, Float's going to have our own Pops cards at the convention, which I'm very excited about. So, but that's another topic entirely. So yeah, Christy, I agree. And yeah, if you look this up, oh my God, it totally looks like a pig had sex with a giant rat. It's the most. It's got to be one of those things that they hunt on those feral pig shows. You know what I'm talking about? Those reality shows where they're like pig hunters or whatever they are. I haven't had regular TV in a very long time, so I don't even know what they are anymore. But yeah, so. Yeah. All right, well, it looks like we've covered everything. It looks like everybody's good to go. So with that being said, I thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. On behalf of Roscoe and Philomena, all I can say is hasta luego. So there you go. And with that being said, you all have a good night, and we will talk next week.